Now, I want to dive in a little more to this idea of things to actually long-term remain bullish on. Because I know that sell-offs like we've seen this week can be really scary. And I know there's a lot of new people in the market right now, in spite of how markets have been. If you're new to the market, shout out to you. Welcome to the market. If you're an old hand in the market, this stuff just gets tiring, man. It does. But there's a lot of reasons that I remain the ever optimist in these markets. And that doesn't mean that I am blind to risk. It doesn't mean that I ignore the realities of the macro situation and the risks in the market, the potentials for like a credit event or something like that, which deserves a whole video of itself coming in the future. But long term, I'm not betting against technological innovation. I feel like that's a losing bet. So here are some things happening in the cryptocurrency market that I think are very bullish for the space as a whole, and which are not necessarily fully priced into, well, a $25,000 or a $26,000 Bitcoin, as we've seen this week. Or if we get down to $20,000, I don't think that's priced into a $20,000 Bitcoin. The first of these, of course, is PayPal. As Jamie Coots points out here, PayPal's announcement is not priced in. I would tend to agree. PayPal has 435 million active accounts. Ethereum, layer 1 and layer 2 active addresses, 1 million. That's 435 times bigger, the PayPal user base. If 1% convert a balance over to PYUSD, the new PayPal stablecoin, and begin to use it, then the ramifications for the Ethereum ecosystem and for ETH, the asset, are absolutely massive. And I tend to agree. PayPal alone could 4x the user base with just 1% adoption, which is not a big hurdle to overcome, in my opinion. It doesn't happen overnight, to be clear. It might take a while, but that is massive. The potential of this is massive. We're talking about hundreds of millions of new people that are getting crypto wallets and crypto accounts thanks to PayPal, one of the biggest fintech companies in the world. That's not priced in. Come on, guys. That's not priced in. Also, crypto wallet provider Ledger set to let users buy Bitcoin and Ether through their PayPal accounts. So how many tens of millions of people have Ledger wallets? A lot. And it just got easier for those people who are already into crypto, to buy more crypto. Imagine how nice that is. Now you can just send crypto straight to your Ledger wallet from your PayPal account. That's pretty cool. That removes a big problem that a lot of users have in terms of, I got to go open an account on Coinbase or Binance or whatever and send money over. It's going to take a week to get there and, all that crap, right? It's cool. As Saigar points out, Visa, one of the world's largest payment processors, continues to use Ethereum for their crypto research. Yesterday, they published a proof of concept that allows users to pay gas fees using credit cards by leveraging account abstraction. Now, account abstraction is huge, and we're seeing a lot of developers' energy being put into this right now. Account abstraction essentially allows for you to be able to use crypto without doing all the sort of behind the scenes stuff. The crypto experience now is kind of like using the old school commands on a computer where you have to, have you guys used this before where you turn your computer? I don't even remember how to do it anymore. I haven't done it in such a gosh darn long time. I remember back in the 90s when I was a kid, this is how you had to load programs on your computer. You'd stick your big old flat floppy disk thing in there and you'd type in your command, command play or whatever it was going to be, and then it would load that program up. Very basic, very, very basic stuff. Well, that's where we are with crypto adoption right now. We're at the very, very basic level. And look, we're getting better. We're getting a lot of great wallets coming out, and we're getting a lot of other positive developments happening, but account abstraction is going to be a big step towards mainstreaming people into crypto. Because right now, The user experience leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah. And account abstraction is going to do it. And guess who's working on it? Just Visa, guys. Come on. One of the world's biggest payment processing companies in the world, working on Ethereum, working with USDC, all about not getting blockbustered. Hundreds of millions of users. Visa probably has 1 billion users globally. Big stuff. Ripple, XRP, not priced in either. The reality that so far, XRP has been deemed to not be a security. Now, apparently, the judge has just approved the SEC the right to appeal the ruling, but that could take like 2 years to play out in court. Until that time, basically all altcoins will be not securities. Or the SEC is going to have a very hard time trying to enforce that when, well, they're just going to look back and go, but XRP. So that gives us enough space for, well, an epic altcoin bull run. Not today, obviously. Maybe not for the next 6 months. Maybe not for 2 years. But it's coming. Right. Then there's the X app. So Elon Musk's X app seeks data partner to build trading service on their app. Now, we've already seen the Elon's interest in Bitcoin, Elon's interest in Dogecoin. Yeah, okay, SpaceX sold their Bitcoin. Who cares? Elon's a businessman. He's going to look at, okay, crypto's popular. Let's put Dogecoin in. Let's put stable coins in. We're going to have the big payments app on X. Crypto's going to be a part of that. That's another 400 million users potentially. It's big stuff. It's big stuff. Now, before we get into a few of the other things to remain bullish on, if you're not signed up to the Wealth Mastery newsletter yet, you got to check it out. It is the best newsletter in the cryptocurrency industry. Slightly biased because obviously it's my newsletter, but it really is just packed full of juicy alpha in every single freaking issue. We talk about altcoins, altcoin alpha, DeFi, NFTs, trending news, altcoin reports, technical analysis, and much more. You can get that straight to your inbox 3 times per week, and it's free. Sign up using the link down below in the description and join 75,000 weekly readers, getting the latest and best information to your inbox. Now, Bitcoin spot ETFs. This is not fully priced in. You know, right now, we are basically back to like almost, well, not quite, but we're getting back down to the price of around where we were. Well, actually, basically there, back down to the price of where we were when BlackRock announced their Bitcoin ETF play. So we were all so excited and bullish when BlackRock announced, hey, we're going to go after Bitcoin ETF. And we've discussed at great length that, yeah, Bitcoin ETF is going to happen. BlackRock is going to get their Bitcoin ETF. It's simply a matter of time. And yet the price is back down to where it was when BlackRock announced. Have we all forgotten that BlackRock, one of the biggest asset managers in the world, is going to get a Bitcoin ETF approved? Sources, rumors are saying it's a question of when it gets approved, not if it gets approved. It's coming. And when it comes, all the other Bitcoin ETFs are also going to get approved. The ARK, the Fidelity, the Invesco, the Bitwise. Estimates are that this could bring $20 to $30 billion of new ka-ching cash into the cryptocurrency market, chasing after Bitcoin in particular, buying Bitcoin ETF products. Now, I'm not a math doctor, but $30 billion in buy pressure for Bitcoin, that's a lot of cheddar, man. That buys almost half of all the Bitcoin currently sitting on exchanges. Of course, not perfectly, because once you start chasing that Bitcoin, prices start going up, et cetera, but we're talking huge price impact here. This is not priced into the market. In fact, it's still not priced into the market. We're literally back to like the same price that the price of Bitcoin was at before BlackRock even freaking announced, man. You can't tell me it's priced into the market. You can't tell me $30 billion in buy pressure is priced into the market, because it's not. It's not. Now, Another interesting factor, probably not priced into the markets fully. Money market fund assets hit a new record high of 5.53 trillion this week. That means there is an incredible amount of money currently sitting on the sidelines that all it needs is a spark to come back in. Now they're chasing high yields from US treasuries and stuff like that, right? I get it. It's attractive right now. Just put your money in cash, stick it somewhere safe-ish, and hey, rock and roll. But once markets move to a stronger risk-on attitude, it's interesting that all of this recent bullish action in the markets was not enough to entice a big portion of that money out. But once we see a stronger risk-on attitude come back into the markets, we're going to see a lot of that money get out of these money market funds and ape into tech stocks, a little bit into Bitcoin, crypto, all that stuff. But the tech stock rally is, to an extent, the tide that lifts all boats when it comes to technological innovation stuff like crypto. Interesting as well, BitPain points this out. I'm not surprised that corporate treasury adoption has been slow. I didn't expect the entire NASDAQ would cannonball into Bitcoin deep end like Saylor did, but I'm continually shocked that essentially nobody anywhere on Wall Street has seen these numbers and thought maybe, just maybe, we should dip our toes into that sweet, sweet orange water. And of course, he's talking about this. This is a chart shared by Michael Saylor. So 3 years ago today, Michael Saylor says, MicroStrategy announced that it had adopted Bitcoin as its primary treasury reserve asset, purchasing 21,454 Bitcoin, or $11,653 per Bitcoin. Of course, their average price now, they've been buying crazy amounts all over the place, around $29,000. So MicroStrategy's back in the red. But at the time he posted this, had they invested that money, $250 million into silver, they would have been down almost 20%. Had they invested into bonds, they would have been down almost 18%. Had they invested in gold, they would have been down 5%. Had they invested it in the NASDAQ, a NASDAQ index fund, they would be up 25%. Had they invested in the S&P 500, they'd be up 33%. Had they invested it just into Bitcoin, 145%. Of course, MicroStrategy stocks up 206% in that time. Can't do both, though. So their Bitcoin play is up 145% at the time they posted this. So maybe it's up 130% or something. That first buy, again, their total average purchase price right now, they're slightly below by a few $1,000s. But Michael Saylor's not selling anytime soon. They just said they're going to raise $750 million more dollars and buy more Bitcoin. Now, not all $750 million is going to Bitcoin, but I bet 500 million is. That's going to buy a lot more Bitcoin. And as BitPain pointed out, like, how has no one else on Wall Street seen this and go like, holy cow, maybe we should get some Bitcoin too. Maybe, just maybe. And that's where the Bitcoin ETF comes in. Because a lot of these companies are simply scared. They don't want to custody themselves. They're worried about the regulations. They're worried about tax implications and all this stuff. But when they can just go buy a Bitcoin ETF, I think the demand is there. The demand is just scared to buy Bitcoin directly. Michael Saylor's front running them because he's brave enough to go out and say, let's buy the Bitcoin, stick it on my ledger. Imagine having $4 billion of the Bitcoin on one ledger. I'm sure it's not, but just that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Loses the password one day. Thank you for your sacrifice, Michael. No. It's going to come. The demand is there. Remember, $20 to $30 billion of new demand for Bitcoin once a Bitcoin ETF is approved. It might be 4 to 6 months. Can you wait? Are you patient? And then the big catalyst, the Bitcoin halving. 252 days. Tick tock. It's coming. And I'm excited about it personally. Bitcoin halving historically has been a very bullish event for the entire cryptocurrency market. Historically, we haven't hit new all-time highs for Bitcoin before a Bitcoin halving. We only hit it after. So can you survive? Can you make it? Can you think long-term? Can you look at some of the big catalysts that are coming? This is what I do. Can't tell you what to do with your money. Obviously not financial advice. But I look at what's coming. I look at the users that are going to be onboarded. I look at the money that's going to come into the market. I look at the big stories that are actually going to affect on a fundamental level where this asset class is going. Long term, I remain bullish. Short term, we could see all kinds of malarkey happening in this market. So stay frosty, guys.